Imagine if you're king or queen of the world. The world has a lot of problems. I don't know if any of us can solve them, but we can sure discuss it. So let's go ahead and see what we can find out. I'm going to show you a few of the issues that we'll be talking about. And then let's see what we can come up with to solve this. Fix the world. That's our mission. History is full of kings. Human history is littered with them. They had good kings, bad kings, imbecile kings, but the one thing they all had in common is they thought they were king of their world. They had the power of life and death, peace and war. Now, we think we've got our problems today. I wonder how we could solve today's problems. If you were king of the world, what would you do? Let's talk about the new kings. We call them dictators, potentates, premiers, and presidents, but really it's the same old game. It's still all about power over everyone they rule over. So let's take a look at a few of them. Just think about these guys. These are modern day dictators, modern day kings. Every one of them absolute masters of the world they ruled. They had millions of people slaughtered. They didn't know who to kill. They didn't know who to reward. They just ruled. And they ruled by whim. Not much thought. There's one on there in particular who still has people executed by flamethrower and by anti-aircraft gun and by mortars. But these guys, think about it. Each one of these guys were human beings. Each one of them were pretty much ignorant. They were all peasants. None of them had any special training to lead. You knew most of them from your history books anyway. What monsters they were. What monsters. And they accomplished absolutely nothing. Not one thing except misery and heartache. Plunging the world into wars, into expensive competitions for weapons. They accomplished nothing. I want you to think about that as you think about what you would do to solve the world's problems. This is the world just in my lifetime. I don't know how we got here. I don't know what our problem is that we can't seem to control this mess that we call human habitation. We have garbage everywhere. Oil, cars, freeways. Starvation yet. Here we have one part of the globe that's got more than they could possibly use in a lifetime, each and every one of them. And yet here's another part of the world where millions of people literally do starve to death every year. We like to think that's not happening. We like to think that we can control this, that we can fix this. But yet there are millions and millions and billions of us. And we keep getting more and more humans, and we keep consuming more and more stuff. We dig holes in the earth. We monstrously destroy the forest, the animals. Things are going extinct, folks. And it's not going to stop. The world's politicians are obviously helpless to stop this. We are helpless to stop it. We're not going to get together and fix this. It's going to take one good dictator. What does that dictator do? Let's find out. Remember all those dictators that we were looking at? All those old guys that really knew what they were doing. Monsters, really. And yet, each and every one of them was a human being at one time. They were decent people at one time. They knew how to laugh. They knew how to hear a joke and laugh at it. They loved people. They actually had friends and people who loved them. But it seems like something about leadership that turns someone Almost anyone, I don't care who you are, turns everyone who tries it into a monster. Can you resist that? Can you be not a monster? We like to think of ourselves as ordinary people, everyday people. Our friends and neighbors, we want everybody to like us. But what are we really? Deep down inside, we're very complex creatures. And if someone really makes you angry, you react. And what if 1,000,000 people made you angry? What would you do to them? What if 10,000,000 people made you angry and you had the power over life and death? You like to think you could be, very understanding and just go, oh, well. But some issues are just not forgivable. Some issues are not solvable. What if it was barbarians coming after you, or people you thought were barbarians? It's a short step from just looking at people as human beings and then looking at them as something less than human beings. Let's explore that just a little further in our discussion. Well, there we are. You are the king, you are the queen. Nobody knows who you are, not yet anyway. But one thing is for sure, no matter who you are, you will not be the same person once you hold the world in your hands. Let's talk.